4 years ago, when Jean-Christophe decided to explore Baja California, he spent 2 months traveling the 1,300 kilometers separating the US-Mexico border from the southernmost tip of the region. It was the central part of the peninsula, a long strip of land in northwestern Mexico separated from the mainland by the Sea of Cortez, which impressed him the most.
J'ai vraiment eu un coup de cœur dès la première fois où je suis venu. Et donc, il y a à peu près 1 an et demi, j'ai décidé de faire le pas depuis la France, de venir m'installer ici, à l'autre bout du monde. Et j'ai créé mon tour opérateur sur place avec une clientèle française en majorité, avec un tourisme que j'essaye de garder le plus possible responsable.
Jean-Christophe now lives in La Paz, Baja California's only major city, located on the east coast of the peninsula. He offers nature-based tours from here for small groups interested in exploring a region where the desert is never far from the sea. Rodrigo is one of the guides Jean-Christophe regularly uses. A marine biologist by training, this Franco-Mexican enjoys sharing his knowledge and educating people about the environment. Rodrigo's favorite place of all is Espiritu Santo. 25 kilometers from La Paz and covering an area of 100 square kilometers, this archipelago of volcanic islands has been declared a marine reserve. It has even recently been listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, like the other islands in the Gulf of California.
La vie qu'il y a ici est unique et précieuse. Et n'importe qui vient ici, à la Basse-Californie, essayant de voir autre chose de différent par rapport à n'importe où dans le monde, vont découvrir qu'ici, c'est vraiment la paix. Ça veut dire la paix, la tranquillité.
A succession of beaches and creeks, Espiritu Santo is uninhabited and has no infrastructure. Only a few ecological camps are allowed. Here, visitors can go kayaking, walking, trekking or diving. The one stop Rodrigo wouldn't miss for anything in the world is undoubtedly the most astonishing on the ecotourism circuit around La Paz. The rocky, guano-covered cliffs of Los Islotes. These cliffs are home to a colony of almost 300 sea lions. You simply have to overcome your apprehension caused by the barking of several dozen creatures, then don a diving suit, flippers, mask, and tuba if you want to swim with the sea lions in their natural environment and become a part of a strange nautical ballet.
Okay. Let's go.
Baja California is 230 kilometers wide at its widest point. The Trans-Peninsular Highway is the only way to get from the Gulf of California in the east to the Pacific Ocean in the west. Outside the small town of Todos Santos, between the sea and a freshwater lagoon with a lush palm grove, you come across a remarkable sight. This is the location of Posada La Poza, a charming hotel with a handful of rooms. There is no radio or television. Here the ocean provides the sounds and nature the show. Lenka, the hotel's manager, explains to Jean-Christophe that the mixture of fresh water and seawater favors the growth of a type of algae that whales are partial to. Here in Poza, the main attraction at the beginning of every year is a remarkable concentration of grey whales just a few meters from the beach.
Yeah. That's really amazing.
It's incredible.
There's like 6, 7, 8.
Maybe more. And everything do the same time, so when one is out, immediately the other ones goes up too.
Okay.
No one can describe it unless you see it in real.
And even probably if you tell this to someone, you won't believe
Yes.
you, right?
It's just
That's
fascinating.
Amazing. Fascinating, yeah. That's the word.
But to see the whales from closer up, to actually touch them, you have to travel several hundred kilometers north to the heart of El Vizcaíno Biosphere Reserve, to the coastal lagoon of San Ignacio. Listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, this lagoon has been a breeding sanctuary for grey whales since 1979. A handful of local fishermen have set up ήρεμα here to offer a professional alternative to all those who live from the sea and who cannot fish from December to April during the whale breeding season. ήρεμα is a 100% Mexican organization and is run as a company. It owns a small camp with a dozen beach huts where its clients can spend 2 or 3 days, and it practices the most ecological tourism possible, so limiting its impact on the environment. ήρεμα employs about 60 people. Carlos was one of the first fishermen to be hired in 1993 as a guide for whale watching trips.
Este medio ambiente, esta laguna, es una de las lagunas más pristinas que hay en el mundo, y la importancia de desarrollar ecoturismo, de practicar ecoturismo, es precisamente para implementar, para exhortar a la gente en todo el mundo que en este tipo de actividades se pueden utilizar recursos naturales y aprovecharse para sustentar la vida de mucha gente alrededor. Entonces, y de una manera organizada y de una manera consciente, para que nosotros no entorpezcamos el entorno.
Well guys, I need your attention, please. First of all, welcome to Cuyima and to Laguna San Ignacio. We're in a natural protected area, so as it, we must take care of the place. So there are some regulations here in the camp that you need to follow, okay? In the observation area, there are also some regulations that we need to follow. One of those is that cannot be more than 16 boats at the same time in the observation area. Also, the boat cannot approach more than 30 meters to the whale, cannot chase the whale, cannot intercept the whale, and it's up to the whales if they want to come to us. If they come close to the boat, you are able to touch the whale, but never in the eyes, the blowhole, the flippers, or the tail.
Tourists come to San Ignacio every winter to observe the hundreds of grey whales which, after having traveled 6,000 kilometers from the Bering Sea in Alaska to the Pacific coast of Baja California, come to breathe in the shallow, calm and warm waters of the lagoon.
Ah, breaching. Oh, breaching. Another breaching. Come on, give me another one, baby. Keep your eyes looking there because they jump several times. We have one very close by here at 9.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, right here. Oh. Come. Oh.
Okay, we're gonna have maybe another one. Come on. Oh. Give me kisses.
Oh, there's the baby.
Come in.
Oh, there's the baby.
Guys, the water now.
She's right under it, right?
Come on, Susan, go for it. Come on, don't be afraid. Go. Lay more. That's a salutation.
Salutation.
Splash the water, please splash the water. Splashing water is a good idea if they are close by.
And if they're, okay.
Because the bubbles and splashing of the water attracts the attention.
Okay.
Because they like the movement.
Okay.
Okay? Ballena gris, que cruzas el mar azul, de Canadá baja sur, ven a verlos, ballena gris, deja tu cuerpo tocar, deja en tu alma encontrar mi silencio, ballena gris.
He's coming on the other side.
Boom. Fantastic.
Established in 1988, the 25 million hectare El Vizcaíno Biosphere Reserve is the largest protected area in Latin America. Thanks to the combined efforts of CUIMA and other public and private organizations which have encouraged its reproduction, the reserve is home to the endangered berendo, or peninsula pronghorn. Living here in semi-captivity and a controlled environment, this small animal is only about 1 meter tall and weighs approximately 50 kilos. Fernando is a naturalist guide. He's keen to introduce visitors to this lesser-known part of the reserve and to the berendo, which is threatened by poaching and the expansion of agriculture.
Es bueno tener la especie de nuevo, una especie que los primeros habitantes de la península los plasmaron en la pintura rupestre, y ver que todavía existe esa especie es gratificante, que no la hemos desaparecido, al igual que otras especies que hay aquí en la reserva, como es la ballena gris, que también la plasmaron los primeros habitantes en las pinturas rupestres. Entonces, tener esas especies todavía con nosotros dentro de la reserva habla bien de nosotros, que si bien no fuimos nosotros las que los ocasionamos que estuvieran a punto de la extinción, hemos luchado por recuperar esas especies.
An almost uninterrupted chain of mountains forms the backbone of Baja California. While these mountains slope gently down to the Pacific, the eastern sides are abrupt and literally plunge into the sea. The Sierra de la Giganta stretches south of the small town of Loreto to the north of La Paz and affords one of the most beautiful views of the Gulf of California. Lauren first visited the peninsula during her honeymoon trip over 30 years ago. She and her husband Mike fell in love with the area. After a life of traveling and adventure, this American couple opened the Danzante Resort, 30-odd kilometers from Loreto. This small 9-bedroom hotel was built entirely of local materials. Handmade adobe bricks for the walls and palm fronds for the building's roofs.
Good morning. Buenos dias, Maria.
Since day one, Lauren and Mike have only employed the inhabitants of the neighboring village of Ensenada Blanca.
To run an eco-resort without having a connection, without making a difference, without contributing to the environment, giving something back. That's how I feel that ecotourism should be designed, not just having our systems be sustainable. You know, we use all solar. We're very easy on the environment, but we've also given job training and really assisted people that live right here in the area of the local culture.
Juan Carlos has been working at Danzante Resort as a diving instructor for several years. He is an ardent defender of a form of tourism that fosters environmental appreciation and conservation, aware as he is of the richness but also the fragile nature of the area's terrestrial and marine ecosystem.
El turismo que vivimos en esta zona es un turismo enfocado a disfrutar las bellezas naturales, pero desde el punto de vista de conservarlas para futuras generaciones. A diferencia de turismos que son los que llamamos en México turismo de playa, que visitan otro tipo de centros vacacionales que están más enfocados a deportes como los jet ski, hacer esquí, que no respetan tanto el medio ambiente porque exigen un uso muy extensivo de los recursos, construyendo grandes hoteles, que eso significa que los pocos recursos como el agua sean utilizados para ellos.
The waters of Loreto's National Marine Park around the islands of Danzante, Coronado, Carmen and Catalana are an absolute paradise for diving enthusiasts such as Juan Carlos. The Loreto area is experiencing a boom. It could well become Mexico's next major international tourist destination. Despite promises made by investors regarding sustainable development, be they American, Canadian or Mexican, it's hard not to worry about the impact of thousands of tourists every year on the landscape, the environment and its natural resources.
I think big tourism development with huge hotels and lots of rooms is a very short-term economic gain for the people who first start building, for the government officials who are taking the money, the taxes. I think it's very short-term. In the long run, what's going to sustain the environment, it's got to be a mix of both. In other words, don't just line the big hotels up and, timeshares. Let's get some more long-term thinking as to how are we going to sustain and protect the very environment that's attracting people. If that environment gets ruined, no one's going to come down here.